Well, what the heck are we going to do next? Let's see. That guy's definitely gonna spot me, so let's not go there. Skeleton worker? The air roaring from the mouth of this immense furnace is incredibly hot. Walking even a few steps past the archer would certainly cause your hair and flesh to burst into flame. Friend? The skeleton seems particularly old, the leather straps binding it together cracked and worn. The word repent has been carefully engraved onto its forehead with some amount of skill. A rougher hand later chiseled 996 onto both of its temples. About this skeleton, Morte. More dignity. Literally just the same time every single time. Pry it out. Murder. No, I'm not lost. You are not lost, and what is your business here? That is none of your concern. I'm afraid that is my concern. Mayhap the guards can loosen your tongue. Snap her neck. Before the dustman can utter a word, your hands clamp onto her temples, and you twist her head sharply to the left. Can't have you alerting your friends. There is a crack, and the dustman falls limp in your arms. Better you than me, Dusty. To your surprise, the act seems instinctual, as if you had done it many times before. With this thought comes the stirring of a memory, but it is not strong enough to surface. I'm not actively in pursuit of doing a mass murder right now, but they are everywhere in this room, and I do need to accomplish something in this room. Doing so without alerting any of them is going to be rough. When, as far as I'm aware, I don't have like a stealth mechanic to use. Maybe this will help. If nothing else, it's clothes. Usable only in the mortuary. That's weird. What happens to this robe if I go outside? Okay, so the dustman robes are a cosmetic disguise. Even though you appear armed with the dagger, you will do no damage according to the weapon you have equipped when you put the disguise on. You will do damage according to the weapon. It's explaining the fact that it looks like I'm holding a dagger, but I'm not. It's a very extended description of how the disguise works. I kind of wonder if they added that. That's just an unusual level of clarification for a game of this age, I feel like. But maybe they were just that on point. Like, we're gonna explain as in depth as we can exactly how this entire system works, so you don't get screwed over by it. I'm so slow. Oh right, I'm not running. That would be doing part of it. Dustman Embalming Charm, lesser. Someone has penned a series of tasks in red ink on this scrap of parchment. I would like the contracted workers to be inspected thrice daily at the end of each work shift when the new initiates come on duty. We have experienced too many contracted collapses while engaged in heavy labor as of late, and I fear the embalming enchantments initially used on the corpses may be decaying or may have been warped somehow. If the contracted workers could be inspected every 8 hours and raised if they have collapsed, then this would prevent the backlog of shells in the preparation rooms and free up more contracted workers for their duties. I do not wish collapsed bodies to be disposed of. When possible, the original contracted shells are to be raised and made to resume their duties. I have included spare embalming charms within the shelves for the initiates on duty. They are to be used only when the shells cannot be repaired with stitching, bandaging, or applications of embalming fluid. The charms help when you can't fix them otherwise? What is ground item? Oh, items I'm gonna throw on the ground? Quiver, quick item. So many different slots. 2 to 4 crushing damage. This is also a fist weapon, so I should have it up there. 1 to 6 crushing. 1 to 6 crushing if you're good at clubs, fighters and thieves. I don't have a class yet, though. So I already had the 1 to 6 crushing because of this pry bar. Speed 4. Speed 4. I think they're the same functionally. Leather strap. This is what held them together. Clot charm. Special. Heals 9 hit points. Resistance to slashing attacks. Resistance to piercing attacks. Use. Okay, I'm used to charms being equipable, but I think it's a consumable instead. Plus 2 to 8 hit points. Can only be usable by Nameless One and Morte. Effects are temporary. There we go. I was curious. Like, this isn't like an upgrade or anything, right? I'm here looking for like a finger? Like a special kind of finger? 50% resistance to fire, 25% resistance to magical fire. Ow, my knee. Junk. Garbage. Nope. Journal, 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 journal. Find Farad, find your missing journal. Okay, so it doesn't mention the finger. I'm pretty sure I needed the finger. I guess it's because of the fact that, like... was there a search? Ah, I'm a mess. Max has told me there's a secret portal in the northwest room of the first floor of the mortuary. If you take a crooked finger bone up to it, it'll activate and take me to a secret crypt where Vaxa says I can rest. He doesn't know where I can find a crooked finger bone, however, but he suggests I try the upper floor of the mortuary. A search function, that's interesting. I think that because they're leaving it open to the idea that I can find my own solution to these problems, they don't want to make the finger bone itself the objective, because there might be a way to do it without getting the finger bone. The objectives are just the more general ideas. Kind of like Fallout objectives. It was like, find a water chip. My objective is, find my journal. I am still trying to check what all of these zombies are. 1148. No mention of being able to cut the mouth open. One 1146. The number 1146 is carved into the forehead of this walking corpse. Its lips are sewn together with coarse black thread. The entire body is covered in horrible scars, worse even than your own, as if its owner has been burned to death. Its nose, ears, and several digits are missing, presumably charred away in some long-forgotten conflagration. As you block its path and get its attention, it stops and gazes at you with vacant eyes. This skeleton has seen either a great deal of combat or has fallen down one too many staircases. Both its arms and legs have been broken and rebuilt with the aid of leather straps and thin iron rods. The front of the skeleton bears the number 863, but the back of the skull is caved in, forming an empty cavity. You notice that someone has taken advantage of this and tucked a rolled up piece of parchment inside the skull. Hello. I will have that, please. You slip the parchment out of the worker's skull. Oddly enough, it looks as if the skull cavity is intended to store messages. A tiny string is attached to the parchment from a hook bolted inside the skull, as if to keep the parchment from accidentally falling out. Take the parchment. You unhook the string and glance over the parchment. It looks like a reminder from one of the mortuary custodians, judging from the note. The skeleton seems to be a walking messenger of sorts. As you take a second glance at the skeleton, you realize it has stopped in front of the slab because it can't figure out how to move past it. Sorry about taking that parchment, but I doubt you would have delivered it any time soon. Oh. He has a pretty universal reaction to basically all the skeletons where he's not interested. Am I allowed to run while being in disguise? Looks like it. It's locked and I need a key. Okay, so now the dustmen don't care about me. So one kill was enough. Mortuary sanctum key. That's this key? I am just loaded with all of the stuff from this entire building. There are probably downsides to grabbing all of it, but I can always go dropping stuff. Okay, so now this door is open, back in the first room.
All right.
Maybe now I can open this door that was here the whole time? Yep. Cleaning rags. A damp mass of rags looks like it's been used to mop up blood and other less savory bodily fluids. Yeah, maybe don't take that one, actually. Can you please be number 42? I've been looking for so long. The especially ghastly-looking female corpse is missing its ears, nose, and lips. In order to sew her jaw closed, whoever prepared her had to draw the skin especially tight around her mouth. You can still see a line of crooked, yellowed teeth through the open slit that remains. The number 891 has been carved into the flesh of her brow. Just another rando. Oop, not since I did the shit. Whenever you start involving tab and shift, I always end up inevitably opening the Steam interface. Which isn't visible to anyone but me, but it bothers me. Oh? Did I find... Okay, we're on the first floor. Let's look at this key. Is it described as a finger? This heavy key is a strange fusion of bone and an unidentifiable blood-red metal. Its jagged, C-shaped head looks like it's ready to clamp down on whoever holds it. Yeah, so it's the key. I thought... Yeah, maybe this was the finger, I guess. That he said was that I would need to find to get a key. There we go. It's been a bit. One of you has to be number 42, damn it. This doddering corpse has had its eyes sewn shut as well as its mouth. The number 732 is carved into the brow. The threadwork that keeps its ocular cavities sealed looks extremely old. You wonder if the eyes were sewn shut before or after the man's death. You notice he's carrying a huge tome in his hands, as if taking it somewhere. Take the tome from his hands, carefully. You carefully take the tome from the corpse's hands. It doesn't seem to notice. The tome appears to be a book of enchantments and wards. It's filled with diagrams and charts detailing various aspects of the necromantic arts. The book itself is extremely heavy, and as awkward as the zombie is, it must be extremely strong. There it is. The Tome of Bone and Ash. This worn, leather-bound tome lists diagrams and charts detailing several minor wards and enchantments. There are numerous drawings of skeletons, bones, and the manner by which they may be preserved over time. Of particular interest is the section regarding guardians. Apparently, the dustmen animate corpses of fallen giants to serve as guardians of the mortuary. To make them even deadlier, armoring enchantments are woven into their breastplates to help shield them from attacks. The book is much too complex for you to absorb all at once, but it looks as if you could refer to certain sections when the need arises. So I should keep that. Also, let's get rid of the junk. I'm running out of inventory stuff. I don't need another wooden club. One to 3 slashing. 1 to 6 crushing. I think higher speed means slower, because knives have 2 and hammer has 6. So this is kind of a shitty hammer. It's slower than my other 1 to 6 crushing weapons. Yeah, I'm trying to reduce my inventory a little bit because this thing is actually filling up, both in carrying capacity and just number of slots. Oh, use. Oops. I was supposed to use it from this screen, wasn't I? Corpse 1201. Oopsie. I've abandoned you, I'm so sorry. Okay, so 1201 was on this floor, right? I think I need to use the diagram next to them. It's not that guy, because that's a person. But beyond that, I can't tell you which one it is. Granted, they think they'll have names, so I just gotta go check them all real quick. I gotta immolate him with the contract in order to... I think he's basically saying that it'll do that. $12.01. Okay, I'm currently next to them. So now if I do the 1201 document and then I use... The foul-smelling note has a strange-looking diagram inscribed... Oh, it's the sequence that I couldn't figure out how to solve. Whoops. Sorry, everybody. I was like, oh no, did dumb me not notice the use button on this thing? It's like, no, dumb me couldn't solve the puzzle. It's confusing to me because it feels like there's only so many interpretations of what it says, but I can't get it to work.
All right.
Oh, I can go through here. I wasn't sure how that... I'm not really sure what I'm... Oh, this is an archway. So this is just a wall. It looked like a cliff. I really wasn't sure what I was walking in on. You see a male corpse with the number 331 chiseled into its skull. His eyes and lips are stitched closed, and there's a gaping hole torn in his throat. He smells foul. So I'm mainly looking for two things. I'm looking for corpse number 42, and I'm looking for my ex-party member to see if she's still alive, or if she probably is not alive because she's here, but if she can be reanimated, or if I can bring her back in some way, or if she has anything indicating who I am via memories that I might trigger. This reanimated male corpse has the numbers 10 to 41 carved into its forehead. Just by its taut, desiccated flesh, it is apparent that its features once had a rather exotic cast to them. The zombie's lips have been stitched closed, most likely to prevent it from moaning incessantly, and it smells strongly of formaldehyde. That's a dust man. They seem to completely ignore me, but I'm not... This is a heavy barred gate of rusted steel. There doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. I'm not going to try to talk to one of them, because I feel like that will just lead to them realizing that I'm not one of their coworkers. Like, that should be the limit of the disguise, right? This woman's corpse pauses in its trudging about as you approach. You notice the number 114 is carved into her forehead. Her mouth is sewn shut, but the thread is slowly coming loose, and faint moans issue from between her lips. I always talk to them because, like, they might be a person. That happened once. I wonder what percentage of people don't find that guy because they get used to the idea that all the zombies are the same and don't matter. I mean, I killed 3 of them at the beginning without being able to know who they were. Because this guy just told me to. And maybe that was a mistake. Maybe you could have avoided even that fight. Maybe even the tutorial fight was optional. This looks like a large tomb. The marble surface gives it a rather elegant look. The plaque on the briar says, "Here lies Deionarra." Deionarra, suckers. Does this go anywhere? No. Doesn't seem like it. Got closer to them than I meant to. And all my clicking. Incessant moaning. How big do this floor be? I've looped around. Whoa. Did I mute the music? But somehow? It just cut out right when I closed the map. Probably just starting over. This part of the building seems dangerous. Before you is a giant skeleton of ornate bronze armor. The armor has been bolted onto the skeleton's frame, and a series of elaborate symbols have been carved across the breastplate. You wonder where the skeleton came from. You weren't aware they made humans in this size. The huge blade in its hands looks like it weighs as much as a wagon cart. Examine the giant skeleton carefully. The skeleton's intricate bronze armor is riveted onto its rib cage and shoulder blades with a series of iron bolts. As you study the frame behind the armor, you notice that the same iron bolts are set into the skeleton's shoulder, elbow, pelvic, and knee joints. A mass of thick leather cords and heavy knotted ropes run along the length of the skeleton's arms and legs, woven in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. Examine the armor. Despite the armor's obvious age, it looks well cared for. It shines brightly, and the symbols engraved on the breastplate seem to flow in the firelight, shifting slightly whenever you try to focus on them. Study the symbols. Almost unconsciously, you let your gaze relax as you look at the symbols. After a moment, the symbols cease shifting and resolve into a trail of runes that run up and down the breastplate. Strangely enough, the interlocking pattern of runes reminds you of chains. And with that thought, you suddenly recall that these runes are some sort of warding enchantment. Try to recall the enchantment. You study the runes for a while, but you can't decipher the enchantment. It looks pretty complicated, and you're having a hard time concentrating. I'm not good enough. Compare the runes in the Book of Tome and Ash. You consult the tome and compare the diagrams to the markings in the breastplate. From what you can make out, the runes are a lesser armoring enchantment, but several skull-shaped runes and spherical tracings along the edge of the armor suggest that several greater necromantic and warding enchantments are woven in as well. Touching the skeleton will most likely cause it to awaken and defend itself. Consult the Tome of Bone and Ash and see if you can determine how they can be broken. From what you can make out from the tome, it seems that the armoring enchantment applies only to the breastplate. The necromantic enchantment allows the skeleton to be raised, but it is the warding enchantment that gives the skeleton its limited awareness of its surroundings. You'd guess that if you were to mar the skeleton's wards, it would interpret it as an attack, unless you blinded it to your presence first. So the warding I need to get rid of first. Mar the runes that maintain the warding enchantment first, then work backwards to the rune pattern, cancelling out necromantic and armor. The work is difficult and nerve-wracking at first, but slowly your mind begins to focus, and the runes begin to unravel beneath your attack. Within minutes, the giant skeleton has been stripped of the enchantments binding it. It collapses, falling to the floor with a crash of bones and a heavy clanging noise. Damned pile of bones. 800 experience. You wait for a moment, but no one responds to the sound. Moving quickly, you sift through the skeleton's parts on the floor. Most of it is too heavy or too old to be useful, but you discover a piece of the skeleton's breastplate with a majority of one of the broken enchantments engraved on it. You have a feeling it could prove useful. I'll just take it then. Neat. Now if they come after me, all these things are fucked. Rune of Lesser Warding. Invokes armor. Teaches user armor. Duration. Until destroyed by damage. So I can use this to get the armor enchantment? Upon closer inspection of the runes covering the surface of this breastplate, you think you might be able to unlock the rune's power and use it to invoke a primitive warding enchantment, similar to the one protecting the giant skeleton. Activating the rune will destroy the breastplate, however. So it's just a rune. It's a consumable that happens to be stuck on a chest plate, which means that it's heavy? Yep. It's a super heavy spell scroll, basically. That's funny. Maybe I should just take all of them out, in case, not only because they might give me a lot of experience, but because I don't probably want to deal with what happens if they come after me later. Hey, how about this skeleton, Mort? Will this do as a body? Mort grins. Is that a yes, or... Oh, sorry. Mort floats up to the head of the skeleton, stares at it, then floats back down, studying the armor and the blade as he descends. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I think this'll do. I don't know. This thing looks like more than you can handle. Then what in Baitor did you ask me if I wanted it for, then? Practicing your cruelty skills? Mort bobs indignantly. And after all I've done for you. I was thinking of your safety, Mort. I'm worried attaching your head to this thing would hurt you somehow. Mort stares at you for a moment. What, did we get married at some point? What's all this I don't want you to get hurt wash? Mort glares at you. If you really cared, you'd find a way to get my head on that giant skeleton's body. I know that I can't just pry its head off. It will try to kill me. Sorry, I don't care about you that much. Let's go. Spell the enchantments.
feel stronger.
I don't think it gives me the option. First of all, I'm pretty sure Morte was like baiting me into endangering myself. Because of the smile that he had. But also, like, I should get rid of something. Why is this yellow? Can I ease it? Scalpel can be used as a key item, so I probably don't want to use that. The pry bar is also a key item. 1 to 6 crushing, 1 to 6, 4, 3. 1 to 6, 4, 3 clubs. So this one's just they're the same item basically, but that one also has usefulness as a key item, and this one isn't that. Didn't I just get rid of an item from my inventory? How is it still full? Oh, I've got another iron spike there, so I don't need more of those. Yeah, this is a decent chunk of experience to get each time. Even the Nameless One's dialogue is updating. He's like, let's see what we've got this time.
Looks like my skills have increased.
And they both leveled up. My voice definitely quickly diverged from, oh, that's what happened. I changed, whenever you change any of your equipped weapons, your robe unequips is part of what that one description said that one time. Somewhat confusingly. Not totally sure why that works that way. Yeah, my voice quickly diverged from how Morte actually sounds, but they gave me nothing to work with. They like I had like one line, and then I had to try to voice him for hours. So quickly it just becomes wherever I've landed at that point. Let's see what we got this time. The exact same thing every single time, apparently. When did I get this one? This is the third and last request for the pry bar. If it has been misplaced, tell me, and I shall go to the hive market and purchase another. I have no objection to maintaining the contracted workers, but I've been trying to repair the skeletons, and the bolts are wedged in so tight that I can't get them out. Also, some of the locks on the storage cabinets on the 3rd floor have been stuck again due to the heat, and I need the pry bar to snap them open as well. If the pry bar is indeed lost, I will see about procuring the services of a locksmith and have the cabinet locks replaced. Your aid in this matter would be appreciated. An unreadable signature has been scrawled beneath the message. So they're all mad about the missing pry bar, which isn't my fault because it wasn't missing yet when I got here, but now I have it. So it's an indicator of how much you can get done with that thing. Rune of greater warding, lesser warding, and armor. They have different enchantments from each other. That's an indicator that I could use the pry bar to go after the skeletons and to open certain cabinets and whatnot. Let's see. I don't think I need to hold on to this one anymore. My inventory is just getting way too full, and I need to reduce it so I can actually pick up new things. Or my poor little screen's gonna be full. I feel like I should hold on to these until they come in handy, but who knows? Trying to parse what order these things are in. Still got my robe on. It still does feel like a bad idea to try to talk to them directly. Back to the 2nd floor. So now both of these paths work. Neat.
I'm gone.
Alright, let's do a reminder on... Boop, 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 Journey. Woman, and a woman. Dust woman, dust woman, dust woman. Female? Companion. Apparently their bodies lie in the mortuary. Perhaps seeing them will cause my memories to resurface. She? Dahl told me that one of the women who journeyed with me was interred in a memorial hall on the first floor of the mortuary. So we're looking for the memorial hall. Southeastern, northwestern. Okay, so one of these two is supposed to have this person that I'm looking for. So I've missed them somehow. Are they inside this thing? Do I need to use the pry bar? Oh! Hello. You see a strikingly beautiful, ghostly form before you. Her arms are crossed, and her eyes are closed. She has long, flowing hair, and her gown seems stirred by some ethereal breeze. As you watch, she stirs slightly, and her eyes flicker. Greetings.
You. What is it that brings you here? Have you come to see firsthand the misery you have wrought? Perhaps in death I still hold some shred of use for you, my love.
My love? Do I know you? The spirit makes a begging motion with her hands. How can it be that thieves of the mind continue to steal my name from your memory? Do you not remember me, my love? The ghost stretches out her arms. Think. Her voice becomes desperate again. The name Deionarra should evoke some memory within you. I think I feel the stirrings of memory. Tell me more. Perhaps your words shall chase the shadows from my mind, Deionarra. Oh, at last the fates show mercy. Even death cannot chase me from your mind, my love. Do you not see? Your memories shall return. Tell me how I can help you, and I shall. She sounded more sarcastic and bitter before, but now she sounds sincere. So maybe I have the wrong tone. Do you know who I am? You are one both blessed and cursed, my love. And you are one who is never far from my thoughts and heart. Blessed and cursed? What do you mean? The nature of your curse should be apparent, my love. Look at you. She points at you. Death rejects you. Your memories have abandoned you. Do you not pause and wonder why? Memories aside, and assuming death has rejected me, why is that a curse? I do not doubt your ability to rise from the dead. I do believe that every incarnation weakens your thoughts and memories. You claim that you have lost your memory. Perhaps it is a side effect of countless deaths. If so, what more will you lose in successive deaths? If you lose your mind, you will not even know enough to realize that you cannot die. You shall truly be doomed. Countless deaths. How long has this been going on? I do not truly know, except that it has gone on long enough. Who are you? The spirit makes a begging motion. Oh. Can you tell me where I am? Where are you? Why, you are here with me, my love. as in the times when life was something both of us shared. Now it is the eternal boundary that separates us. Eternal boundary? Deionarra sounds saddened. It is a barrier I fear you shall never cross, my love. It is the barrier between your life and what remains of mine. I see. Perhaps you could answer some other questions. I need to escape this place. Can you help me? You're about to ask Deionarra the question. It catches in your throat. It occurs to you that if you tell her you are looking for an escape route, she may feel you are abandoning her. If you're going to ask her how to leave, you'll need to be delicate about it. Deionarra, I am in danger. Can you guide me to a place of safety? I shall return as soon as I can speak to you again. In danger? Deionarra looks concerned. Of course, my love. I will aid you in any way I can. She closes her eyes for a moment and you watch an ethereal zephyr pass through her body, stirring her hair. After a moment, the zephyr dies, and her eyes slowly open. Perhaps there is a way. Yes. I sense that this place holds many doors shrouded from mortal eyes. Perhaps you could use one of these portals as a means to escape. Portals? Portals are holes in existence, leading to destinations in the inner and outer planes. If you can find the proper key, you could escape through one of them. Key? Deionarra pauses for a moment, as if attempting to remember. Portals will reveal themselves when you have the proper key. Unfortunately, these keys can be almost anything. An emotion, a piece of wood, a dagger of silvered glass, a scrap of cloth, a tune you hum to yourself. I fear that the dustmen are the only ones who would know the keys you could use to leave their halls, my love. Oh, that's the finger then. Which might be the arm I took off, but probably not. I mixed it up with the key that was useful for other reasons, but not the same thing. I wonder if she acts betrayed and closes you off if you ask that question normally. But like my wisdom score enabled an alternate thing where he catches the mistake before he makes it. They gave me experience and everything. Nothing now, Deionarra, though I shall return. Farewell. Hold a moment. I have learned much when I traveled with you, my love. And what you have lost, I have retained. I have not divulged all that I know to you. My sight is clear, whilst you fumble in the darkness for a spark of thought. Wow, these two aren't great. This one's mean. And what is it your sight sees that I do not? Time itself relaxes its hold as the chill of oblivion slowly claims us, my love. Glimpses of things yet to come swarm across my vision. I see you, my love. I see you as you are now, and... Deionarra grows quiet. What is it? What do you see? I see what lies ahead of you. It ripples through the plains, stemming outward from this point. Shall I speak of what I see? Tell me. First, I require a promise. Promise you will return, that you will find some means to save me or join me. You can lie. Make vow. That's probably a mistake. I swear I will find some means to save you or join you.
This is what my eyes see, my love. Unfettered by the shackles of time. You shall meet enemies 3, but none more dangerous than yourself in your full glory. They are shades of evil, of good, and of neutrality, given life and twisted by the laws of the planes.
The most dangerous thing in the world, centrists.
You shall come to a prison built of regrets and sorrow, where the shadows themselves have gone mad. There you will be asked to make a terrible sacrifice, my love. For the matter to be laid to rest, you must destroy that which keeps you alive and be immortal no longer.
Destroy what keeps me alive?
I know that you must die while you still can. The circle must come to a close, my love. You were not meant for this life. You must find that which was taken from you and travel beyond, into the lands of the dead.
Die while I still can.
Updated my journal.
I do not doubt your ability to rise from blah, 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 blah. Reminding us that we'll forget everything, potentially. Like the Dark Souls 2 intro. You will kill and conquer and blah blah blah, and you won't even remember why. No, I don't sit here and memorize quotes. I don't remember what she actually says, but the crone has a similar discussion. What was that vision you spoke of before?
This is what my eyes see. You shall meet and you shall come. I know that you must die while you still can. I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
She smiles, but there is only sadness in it. She closes her eyes, and with an ethereal whisper, she fades. You back with me, Chief? You kind of drifted out on me there. No, I'm fine. Do you know who that spirit was? Eh? Spirit? That specter I was talking to. The woman. You were rattling your bone box with some woman? Where? The Morte looks around, excited. What'd she look like? She was right on top of the beer. Didn't you see her? No. You just kind of drifted out for a bit there. Just stood there statue-like. I was a little worried you gone adult on me again. No. I'm fine. I think. Let's move on. Well. No confirmation of whether that was even real or whether or not I made a real vow or not, or if I'm just remembering somebody and imagining what they might say. This is another memorial, so I should probably see if there's another ghost here that I might even also know. The plaque is blank. Looks like a large tomb. The marble surface gives it a rather elegant look. Okay, so that's one thing that we're trying to get into, taken care of. Stats screen? Let's see. Yeah, it said that I leveled up. Oh, there's a level up screen. Level up. Saving throws have improved. Fighting skills have improved. 1 characteristic point gained. 9 hit points gained. That's a lot of HP. Level ups are so impactful in early D&D. Saving throws versus paralyzed, poison, death, rod, staff, wand, petrified, polymorph, breath weapon, spell. Thief skills. I've never played D&D 2, so I don't know how most of this works. Polymorph being on your go-to savings throw list is strange. 1 point. Not amazing? Maybe a little more charisma today? Now I can level up Morte. Got -2 to all armor class. Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad? Because I played like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, I think, and that was a game where like having a low number for your armor was good. If I remember correctly. I've never played the real Baldur's Gates. I played like one of the Diablo games, basically. Saving throw, fighting skill, 10 HP. 2 hit points gained from con bonus. So he has a constitution bonus, so he gets more health per level than I do. And he didn't get any levels to spend. Ah. Or any points to spend. That's kind of bad for him, ain't it? There's the front gate, which I'm imagining I can't escape through. These metallic blue tapestries are made of thin chain links.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
I don't think any of that's new. The door is locked. You'll need a key. So something that's throwing me a bit is the fact that there's just like no indication of where the portals even would be if they did exist. Hello. 2 to 7 slashing. Thaco -1. Is that -1 chance of hitting? Very slow. Speed 10. I think I'm ultimately going to want to go back upstairs and search around again. Progress of a kind was made here, but I never actually found that finger. And now I've got free reign of all the floors, so that's good. And there's like chunks of the environment that I haven't explored yet, but now I should be able to run around more freely. Is this the one that's going in circles? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. 42! The skeleton turns to face you. 42 has been chiseled into its forehead, and a number of its bones, mostly the jaws and the joints, have been bound with leather straps. A black smock is draped over its body. I think this is the corpse I had that memory about. At the sound of your voice, the skeleton suddenly straightens up. It crosses its arms over its chest and its fingers hook into its ribcage. Cross your arms over your chest. In response, the skeleton drops its arms to its sides. The leather cords securing this skeleton's torso snap, and the ribcage folds outward like a pair of double doors. What a strange interaction. Reach into the ribcage, feel around. To your surprise, your hand vanishes as you reach inside the ribcage. You have a strange feeling it's somewhere else. As you reach inside the ribcage, your hand bumps against an invisible object. It's about the size of a fist, and seems to be attached to the skeleton's spine. Take the item out. As you pull the item out, the skeleton suddenly disintegrates, and the iron bolts securing its joints clatter to the floor. Whatever this item was, it seems to have been the only thing holding it together. It looks like an unremarkable lump of iron. You can't imagine why someone would hide it inside the ribcage of a skeleton. As you place both your hands on the lump of iron and examine it, there is a hiss, and the metal evaporates, leaving behind a strange dagger. A handful of coins wrapped in a dirty cloth, and 2 bloody teardrops. These look like they were inside the lump of iron. And there's a wooden club on the ground now. I don't need that one. Green steel knife versus a jagged knife. 1 to 4 piercing. The razor-sharp knife has been forged out of famed Batorian green steel, found only in the wastelands of Avernus. I think I've heard of a game called something like that. This peculiar green ore can be tempered into metal much lighter than normal steel. In addition, green steel weapons tend to retain their remarkably fine edges and are capable of dealing out more damage than their standard counterparts. So better for killing people, because it has +1 maximum damage. But the hammer, the blunt weapons are probably better for fighting skeletons. And I guess I got more clot charms, which heal. And whatever else it said that it was giving me. This thick mass of rags looks like they were torn from a tapestry or someone's robes. Usable? Okay, so that was... Huh. So we had a vague memory that I had put something in that guy that would potentially be useful just in general, but it wasn't like a key item that I needed to progress. It was just like, alright, here's a med kit if you, as a reward if you could find this. Which isn't the worst, but it's not helping me. I just tried figuring it didn't work. I'm still looking for a crooked finger bone. We're having trouble making much progress without that. Examine the skeleton carefully. Bolt them apart.
I couldn't carry anymore, so I had to drop it.
Another wooden club. I figure I might want to just disintegrate the ones that I can, because they might have what I need. I feel like I've checked most cabinets. Needle and thread. There are still some roaming ones. I'm not getting chances to examine any of these, I don't think. More needle and thread. Why does this one stand out so much? Just because they were burned? I think that's just supposed to be the story, that the storytelling bit, that they've been burned but not much else. Well, I did get all of our side things I was trying to do done, so we'll go ahead and call it here, and I'll get started when I make some kind of hint of progress, because now we're kind of at a dead end. But we'll start the next episode when I find anything again.